Hi everybody, I am SS the Showstopper and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. It's calm, it's very peaceful, it's bright and sunny. Just how I like it at times. I know it's calm and peaceful, but I'm moving very fast because I have a lot of things to do. So I start off the morning very early, okay? So I'm moving faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and horses, hedges and ditches. For those who go to school will know what I'm talking about, or go to school in Jamaica, I'm sorry, will know what I'm talking about. Speaking of school in Jamaica, now there's this topic that is brewing and it's going and going and going and going, like the Energizer Bunny. And I said that, I don't really want to speak on it because so many persons have already been touching the topic and they have been in favor of, many have been against, but for the most part in favor of. So I said, let me speak on it. Spice and this whole entire dancehall artist Spice, that is, and this whole entire scenario of her wanting to be a guest speaker at schools or wanting to do her school tour based on a song that she's promoting, that you're not supposed to be doing certain things while in school or while being a student, while being underage, while still in academia, and someone else is legally responsible for you. And it's in particular to schoolgirls, and they should be careful of the life that they're living, and yada yada yada, and what they choose to do while in their school uniform, while still going to school, while someone else, parent or guardian, is still legally responsible for them. And I share the sentiment, and I totally agree with her message that there are certain things that you should not be doing. However, persons are having issues with the messenger. There are persons from religious group, persons from the ministry who are having issues, and they're saying that she's not the best person to speak on the issue based on the fact that her lifestyle and what she portrays, being Spice, the dancehall artist. They're saying that no, she is not the person to speak on the matter. And I'm looking into it, and I cannot agree with what they're saying. I get that Spice wants to promote her music and she wants to do something positive at the same time. But, you are about music and you're also about business. So I guess she wants to incorporate both and make it very, frugal, and also, market it that way around, center around school and the whole positive promotion, basically, for schoolgirls to remember that, education is extremely important, and having a good character is also important, especially when you're in a uniform and you're representing certain institution. So I kind of agree with what Spice is saying, but I also agree with what the religious persons are saying, and also from the ministry point of view, I have to agree with them, because Spice, whether a lot of persons want to admit it or not, Spice have lived their life as Spice, and we have seen outside of her being on stage a lot of things that she have done, which including cussing, getting into squabbles, getting into all sorts of diatribe on social media, and a lot of persons do not agree with it, especially the way how she behaved or the way she respond to certain argument when she have been falling out with several persons. And most of the time these are persons who are close in her corner, who knows her like that, and people are saying that based on that and based on her performance, on her message and her music, no, they incorporate it and saying that Spice and Grace Hamilton are inextricable. You understand? Meaning that you can't separate both. They are just joint. They are joint individual. It's the same personality. It's the same character. It makes no difference if she's on the stage or off the stage. It is the same. She said that someone had made a statement about her being promiscuous. I don't know about Spice being promiscuous, so that was a little bit off. But I'm speaking on what we have seen over the years. And a lot of persons are saying that she's the perfect person to speak on it. But remember that Spice and so many other persons who are artists have said that they're not responsible for raising people's children. Now, if you're not responsible for raising people's children, what's the issue with parents taking a stand and not wanting you to speak to their children about how they should conduct themselves? They think that you are not the person for the job, and they are within their right to speak on it. See, the problem in Jamaica is that people want everyone to think and behave the same way simply because they do, or behave how they approve. And based on it, if it's someone who they like, it should be okay. And if it's someone who they don't like, it is bad mind and it is hate, and you're envious and you're jealous of the person, and it's this and that and all sorts of things that they put into play. So I keep asking the question. There is also a porn star named Sashana Gabe Teaser. Why not allow her to speak to your child then, if such is the case and Spice is like that? only on stage. You can allow other persons, you can allow other questionable characters out there to do the same, but you won't do it. You know why? Because you don't like those people. So you will not allow it. You understand? And people need to understand that, listen, former porn stars, former street prostitutes, former junkies have all come out and go to school, different institutions, and have spoken on the life. Whether they are Jamaican or not, they have been to schools in Jamaica and they have spoken about it. But the operative word in the sentence that I've used is former. Former, once was. These are people who have rehabilitated themselves, who have taken on a different personality and are on a different journey where they're constantly trying to make a change in their life. No, when Spice does this and she goes on a tour, let's say all things are equal and it's granted, and she decides to do the school tour. Tomorrow morning, she's going to go back on the stage and she's going to say, skin out the pum pum. You understand what I'm trying to say? And this is what is creating the upheaval for people, and it's unsettling, and I can't blame them. You are free to do what you want to do, but the issue is when it comes to children, who is the best person to speak on the matter, to guide them, to give them a learning ear? Persons are saying, if I am this type of person, don't you think I am the best person? No, it doesn't mean that if you are, it means that yes, you are the best person. It doesn't work like that. And I need people to understand. But then again, me needing people to understand, I have to be careful of the audience that I'm speaking to. Jamaican people, I think they believe strongly that all are monolithic, think, behave, function the same way, and they don't realize or fail to understand that everyone simply isn't. The world is extremely big. A lot of persons live in Jamaica. A lot of persons are Jamaican, and they're not going to see things your way simply because you say so. And it seems like there's a bullying message behind it, or a bullying mechanism wherein you want your artist to speak to kids at school, and it should be because you say so, and Nofawuno doing this, or people in church doing this. Where's your proof? All you see where pastors are doing this, deacons doing that. These people who are caught and are arrested for a certain act. They are caught and they are arrested. They are not being supported by the law in doing what they have done. Illegally, that is. You understand? So I'm speaking to say this. I do not think that she is a perfect person or the right person to speak on the subject matter, given the fact that most of her music centers around adult, and she is still in that character and vicinity of dancehall, the loud, the raucous, vulgar avenue. Persons have incorporated Shenseea and saying that, oh, Shenseea have performed at Immaculate Conception and this and that. Shenseea went there to perform. Do I agree with that either? No, I don't, because the song that she was singing is not something that children should be listening to. You understand? So I would not agree with Shenseea performing at school with a message like that. However, she wasn't there to do a free speech. She wasn't there to be a voice of reason to young people. She was there to perform. Yada, 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 move on with her life. People are saying that it is colorism. Listen, we can say that it's colorism all day, every day. I highly doubt that. Whether you're light skin, whether you're dark skin, there is racism and it exists in the world. You understand? And you cannot walk around wanting to be a permanent victim, because wanting to be a permanent victim means that you're blinded by the error in judgment that you have made, and you will think that you are correct and someone is trying to stop you based on your skin color. And that is not the case. Spice is a loud and vulgar woman. Spice is a loud and vulgar individual. Not only that, we have seen her constantly promoting Gaza. She represents for the Gaza. Now, Gaza is a controversial group / gang that's in Jamaica, spearheaded by dancehall artist Vybz Kartel. And people have been speaking out against it. Remember that this person was also convicted for murdering and dismembering, of a body of an individual who was his friend. So that doesn't sit well with the mass of people, not because he has been, freed. It still does not sit well with the mass of people. And she promotes it and she also represents it anywhere she go. Is she within her right to do so? Sure, she's within her right. But you can't want the best of both worlds. It's like it's like having this Tupac syndrome, where one moment you want to be this gangster, you want to be you understand me, you want to be this thug, you want to be this vulgar, raucous person out there, and the next minute you want to be a voice of reason, you want to be so conscious, you want to be this, you want to be that. You understand? I found myself in a similar predicament, so I know what you're going through, Spice. You understand me? Believe it or not, I do counseling. Would you come to me for counseling? Would many of you come? No. But at the same time, there are so many persons who have. There are so many persons who still are. There are so many well-known persons that you even know that are coming. But at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is that you have to be careful of what you put out there to represent yourself, because people are going to use it to mark you. And this is what is happening. You understand? Like I said, there are former prostitutes, there are former street prostitutes, porn stars, junkies, drug dealers, all these type of persons who have come out and spoke, people in life of crime who have come out. But these people are people who have been rehabilitated, or in good judgment have been rehabilitated, and because of such, people see them fit to be the voice of reason, to represent a mass group of people. Many of them choose not to speak to students because they don't believe it's their right. Many choose to, and we respect that. You understand me? But at the end of the day, Spice, I don't think that you going on stage this minute and skin out me pum pum, and the next minute then you want to talk to kids about, no, you can do that with your daughter, because people are saying that, remember, that Spice is a mother. Yes, she's a mother to her daughter. And persons are having an issue with her wanting to be a voice of reason to their daughter. And you can't blame them. And they're saying that there are many adults in uniform and they're doing this and they're doing that. There's a law behind it. Remember that it is illegal to engage in an underage student or teenager in any form of sexual activity or anything that has to do with substances such as alcohol, drugs, and all of that. It is in fact illegal. So saying that doesn't mean anything. It means something. It means that you're also an irresponsible person to not report the matter to the police or to law enforcement if you see an adult interfering with an underage person who appears big or appears to know what they're doing. It's your duty as an adult. So to say that they're doing this and they're doing that means that you have seen some things out there that are very, very questionable, very controversial when it comes to underage children, and you choose to be silent but want to be loud and vulgar and use it as a defense mechanism to suit the argument that Spice should be giving speech to these children. I totally disagree with it. I do not support it while being Spice. I know that there's Grace Hamilton who speaks eloquently. We get that. But speaking eloquently does not necessarily mean that you are. She have quoted many Bible verses about women who, was about to be stoned, and they say Jesus said he was without the first sin, he's without sin, cast the first stone. That woman right there have made a change in her life. People don't speak about it. They spoke about Jesus walking with a prostitute. Jesus was never walking with a prostitute. The woman was a converted woman. She was a former prostitute. People need to understand that the Bible is precept upon precept. So when you read about something in one chapter, or there's another book down there that really gives you a breakdown of what took place back then, of what took place in that particular allegory, as they say. But that's all I have to say on the topic. I personally don't agree. I've seen so many other persons pointing out, saying that they don't agree with it. And, I share the same sentiments as them. You can't be that. No, not at this moment. I think even when she retires or something like that, it will be best for her to do that. She can do it. But we all know that, yes, you're promoting your music and you're doing this and you want it. You see it as a great opportunity to do so. And we give you props for doing it. But to go to school while being that type of female artist, it's not going to sit well with people, and you really can't blame them. Like I say, Spice or Grace, I understand how you may feel. Like I said, I've been in the same situation, going through it just the same, where sometimes, people want to see me, and when they come, they'll be like, oh, it's you, and stuff like that. Even in other business that I do, when they come and they see me, they're like, oh, it's you. They didn't know, because people judge me by my looks and stuff like that. But my behavior is something completely different. And, I am about fun every now and then. But at the end of the day, Spice, I think that when we get into the microcosm of it and we look deep into it, we will realize that there is much more change that needs to take place in terms of the content that you put out with your music before you head on to that. You can't have a spontaneous moment and believe that it's a great marketing tool for your music, and then you're going to bring the kids as a scapegoat then to say, okay, I'm going to be a motivational speaker and I want to do this tour and it's a great way to sell music, and then hop on tomorrow, skin out me boom boom and big body this, and no, it doesn't work like that. And many persons, we can't judge North America, that's a country of 300 million people. If you cast a vote, most people would say no. In the black community and the black culture, which is very minute in the United States, even though it's loud, it's still a minute community, you understand? they will agree with a lot of these type of things because the black community enjoys seeing the degraded version of themselves. They like seeing that, and because they like seeing that, then they'll use just about anybody out there to become a motivational speaker once they're popular. You understand? But on a broad scale, it would be a flat out no. On a broad wide scale, it would be a flat out no. And I can't say I blame people. I'm sorry, not really sorry. That's just how it is. It is what it is. Thank you guys for your time. Enjoy your day. God bless you. Bye-bye.